I consider Brandon to be my boy, right? It's not like we're best buds or anything like that. He lives far away from me, right? And he's got his own life. I got my own life, so it's not like we're talking constantly. But because I helped him, and because he worked hard, and because we got a lot of rounds in sparring and shit like that, I consider him to be my boy, right? And because of that, fuck Sneako. Not even just because Brandon's my boy, because like Sneako is like a piece of shit. And it's funny to me that he's sitting there saying, oh, I'd rather be at home laughing at YouTube videos and all this shit than having to put my manhood on the line to potentially lose to Brandon Buckingham. And it's like, dude, it's not about winning or losing. It's about having the balls to get in there and do it in the first place. There's a guy, his name is Kevin Weeks, right? I'm about to do the most fucking Boston thing that like I could do right now. But Kevin Weeks, right? He was one of Whitey Bulger's enforcers, right? I ended up watching a documentary of him, not just of him, but of Whitey Bulger and the Winter Hill Gang, right? And they ended up doing an interview with him, and they asked him about his early life, and he said, "Yeah, I mean, growing up in Boston, you got into fights. That's just what happened, and you didn't have to win every one of them, but you had to show up." That's what it's about. It's about the fact that you had the balls to show up. That's where the manhood lies in a fight. It's not winning the fight. It's showing up and being at the fight and giving it your all. So Sneako sitting here talking about, oh, I don't want to chance my manhood or anything like that. You're not chancing your manhood. You're just completely and totally throwing it in the garbage disposal and turning that thing on. You're completely and totally tearing it the fuck apart by not taking this fight. And it's not like Sneako's going to see this, and if he did, right, he's going to be like, oh, this fucking redhead. Oh, dude's irrelevant. Dude's irrelevant. He's a nobody. And it's like, you know what? Yeah, you're right. You're right. I am a nobody. You couldn't kick my ass, though. Other than that, you wouldn't even show up. If I was big enough for you to have a public beef with, right, if I was big enough for you to acknowledge me, you wouldn't show up to that fight, right? You'd probably show up to a fight with Brandon before you would with me. And that's why you're a bitch. That's why you're a bitch. He wants to pick on the easiest victim that he thinks he can get away with, and that's why he's picking on Charlie, what's his face? Moist Critical, right? That's why he's picking on Charlie now, because he knows, like, oh, Charlie's a chill dude. I don't think Charlie would even want to take the fight. So if I call Charlie out, Charlie will be like, yo, dude, I'm not even a fucking fighter. Get off my back. And I'll be like, yeah, that's right. You're a pussy, bro. You're scared, bro. You're scared of the alpha male, bro. That's what he's trying to do. Or if Charlie was to take the fight, right? I think Sneako is reasonably sure that he could beat Charlie, right? And if Charlie was to take that fight, I would hope that he would be in New England. And I know Brandon would come up here, and it would be me, Charlie, Brandon, and Sam. I guarantee you, we would all be helping him out. It'd be fucking nonstop. Whether it was for a week, whether it was for a month, whether it was for a fucking year. Because like when it comes down to it, like I said, I consider Brandon to be my boy. So I'm gonna take his side. But in addition to that, I don't like bitch-made motherfuckers like that. It's not about clout. It's not about fame. It's not about like, oh, I need to pick a side in this because it's good for my career. I'm an MMA YouTuber who sometimes talks about random shit, right? I have less than 1,000 subscribers. Nobody gives a fuck about me, right? And nobody's even going to see this if I do cut it out and make it into a video. Nobody's going to give a fuck about it. It's about integrity, right? Chris Eubanks Sr., look him up. Such a fun dude to listen to speak. He's just so fun to listen to, right? One of the things that he speaks about is integrity. And part of being integrity is showing up even if you think you're going to lose, because you have to protect your grade as a warrior, right? As a man, right? It doesn't mean being stupid and taking every fight that's offered to you. That's not what it is. It's about recognizing when you have to fight. When you're in a situation where if you don't fight, right, your honor is gone. Not to sit here and be like, oh, no honor, right? Not to sit here and be like that. But honor does mean something, even to the emasculated male, like Sneako, right? That's why he puts on the show that he does. That's why he does that, right? And he's trying to sit here to salvage some kind of honor by pretending that he's the top G number 2, right? He's the second floor G, right? That's why he's running around trying to pick fights with smaller victims and things like that, right? Because he thinks that it's going to restore some kind of honor to him after he did the cuties thing, after he did the watching his girlfriend get plowed by another fucking guy thing, right? That's what that is.